It is understood that all life on Earth developed from the water, so I wanted to start my exploration of the brook by looking at the wildlife which lives in the water itself. Ponds on the farm fill with rainwater and help to feed the stream. They are the basis of the food web supporting the greater ecosystem across the farm. I can't wait to get in this stream and find out what's living beneath the surface, and for that I need this and this. These may be simple tools, but they're imperative for this type of sampling, which is called kick sampling. And it's a method for analysing macroinvertebrates which may be living in the stream. And to do this, you face your net upstream, downstream from you, and you kick the substrate for a set amount of time, hoping to catch anything which may be living on the bed of the river. You then take your net out and stick it in your tub. So that's the first sample done. Let's have a look and see what we found. This is amazing. I can see that it's already brimming full of life. So you may think that this is just full of lots of plant waste. However, you can actually see that there are lots of things swimming around in here, like this massive freshwater shrimp, also known as a side swimmer. There's also a huge example of a caddisfly larvae in here, which is right there, currently chomping away on a piece of bark. Caddisfly larvae have this great defense mechanism in order to protect themselves against predators. They build themselves using a silk cocoon, a protective layer, out of a variety of different substrates, be it plant matter such as bark, sands and sediments and gravels. And they are important bioindicators for clean water. The nocturnal adults are a vital food source for bats. And I'm just so pleased to have found this on our first go. After each sample, I return my catch back into the water. I then took additional samples of the brook at different sites, each one further upstream. This was to ensure I did not contaminate the next sample with disturbed sediment. I found more caddisfly and shrimp, as well as various species of aquatic worms and larval nymphs, such as stonefly and mayfly larvae. After sampling the brook, it's become evident that there's a huge abundance of wildlife living beneath the surface of the water. And the creatures living here are an important part of the food web, as they are prey items for much larger species of amphibians, rodents, of mammals and birds as well, which we'll go on to look at later on in the series. A few weeks ago we noticed that frogs had laid spawn in the pond, and I'm really pleased to say they have just hatched. The tadpoles are really important in the food web within the pond ecosystem, as they provide food for many different predators ranging from fish to birds such as herons, smaller birds, as well as macroinvertebrate larvae which live underwater, like dragonflies. Having glimpsed these aquatic larvae through the surface, I want to take a closer look by pond dipping, so I've asked Natalie's niece to help me to see what we can find. Pond dipping is a great family activity, so why not have a go yourself with your local wildlife group? Our pond dip yielded excellent results, as we caught many aquatic macroinvertebrates. If you look in there, can you see these little things swimming around? These are little water fleas. I can see many phantom midge larvae in here, which are named so because they're completely see-through, and I think that's kind of awesome. Some of you might think it's gross, but you can see what's inside of them. We also caught mayfly larvae and the familiar water boatman. And there's a freshwater shrimp swinging around and it's clinging onto a female. This is a behaviour that males exhibit in order to secure their mating chances. They literally hold the female hostage until she's ready to lay eggs. I guess it works for them. We also found lots of damselfly larvae. Damselflies are more likely to lay their eggs in lentic water systems, and that's what a pond is. The flowing water of a river you call a lotic system, and the still water of ponds and lakes is known as lentic. And some organisms are better suited to living in lentic ecosystems. Speaking of which, we found something very exciting in a different pond on the farm.
I did find a dragonfly!
And it's massive, isn't it? Can you believe these are both dragonfly nymphs? The massive size variation comes from being at different stages of their larval form. They are voracious hunters, capable of even catching small fish. They really are the apex invertebrate predator of the pond. If you need any more proof that the pond is full of life, just look at all these tadpoles here. The ponds are important ecosystems, both as nurseries and hunting grounds for predators, and they are the basis for the food chain around here. There's so much more I could talk about regarding the ponds, however I want to see if the camera traps have filmed any of the more elusive animals further up the food chain. So I'm catching up with Natalie to see what has been visiting the farm these past 2 weeks. Should we have a look through to see what we've managed to capture this week on the camera traps?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had one trap up on that top pond where the tadpoles were, and we've got quite a few birds up there actually.
These included 2 mischievous jackdaws and another corvid, a magpie. This is not a surprise as they both nest nearby on the farm. We actually have a substantial flock of magpies year round here. Ooh, a heron. Excellent. Definitely
Good hairstyle, hasn't he?
one that is you would expect to see next to water, and a voracious hunter of the pond. Other regular visitors to the pond are these 2 mallards, who are potentially predating on the newly hatched tadpoles under the cover of darkness, where they are less likely themselves to be prey to predators.
Should we have a look at one of the other traps?
So where was this one located?
Let's have another look. See, so this one was up in the woods, and we were looking in on a fence line.
This fence line was causing the roe deer some trouble as it looked for a way across the boundary. Thankfully, it remembered that it can jump. This location also gave us some great shots of foxes, and finally, the elusive badger, who seemed to be enjoying the wild garlic here.
I think that's most of what we've had from the last week.
So it's great that we've been able to see the badgers, so it means we are going to focus on them for the next episode and hopefully go and find their home set.
That'd be amazing.
And get some footage for you guys, and if we could get some cubs, how great would that be, because they are so cute. And that is exactly what we're going to do, so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for the next episode. We felt like we didn't really need to address everything that's been going on in the news this past few weeks. What I do want to do is remind you that spring is springing. So get out, if you can safely get out, enjoy it. Go to your local wildlife parks. If not, look out the window and enjoy everything that's going on around you. There is a strength in the nature around us, so it's great to remember that, and it makes you feel healthier. So stay healthy, stay strong, and enjoy nature.